Some monsters have claws, some have teeth. But the scariest monsters, they don't need either. They're the ones you love, the ones you trust. This is the story of Emmy and Annie, two sisters caught in the grip of something they couldn't escape. Our mother wasn't like other moms. Addiction took her piece by piece, singing her to sleep on a mattress worn thin by years of neglect. By the time her back teeth fell out, I was 7. I kept them in a matchbox, safe, like the missing pieces of her we thought we could someday put back together. Our house was falling apart too, ceilings stained with water, dry rot creeping up the stairs, and radiators bleeding rust every winter. But Annie made it a home. She mothered me when Mum couldn't or wouldn't. She brushed my hair every morning, even when I screamed at the tangles. She cooked me lukewarm meals, told me ghost stories, and never let me shower with cold water. Annie was my protector. She was my home. When our mother was drinking light, she shone. She'd wake us at 3 in the morning for pancakes or pull us out of school for impromptu beach trips, but when she was drinking heavy, she disappeared. Out all night, strangers filling the house with smoke and noise. And when she drank too little, that's when she fell apart. Empty fridge, chain-smoked cigarettes, and a rage that could ignite a couch with nothing but a spilled glass of juice. We learned early that keeping up with her was impossible, but it didn't make it hurt any less. It was October, I was 13, Annie was 16. Mum had been gone for 2 days. She called that morning from a payphone, slurring about her new friends and wishing me a happy birthday. A day late. I hung up. I didn't need her apologies, I had Annie. She'd given me glittery nail polish and a homemade cake with sand in the frosting, but that night the air between us was tense. Annie and I had fought after I caught her breath heavy with whiskey. I couldn't bear to see her fall like Mom. When the crying started, I thought it was the neighbour's toddler, faint, soft, lost in the dark. But Annie's face told me something wasn't right.
Distorted. "Get inside," she whispered. "Now."
I stepped off the porch, drawn by the sound. That's when I saw it. A figure crouched by the fence, too tall, too thin. Its mouth opened and closed, mimicking the cry of a child. I ran. Annie slammed the door behind us, locking it as we stared at the figure through the window. It stood slowly, deliberately, and began walking toward the house. "Don't turn around, Emmy," Annie said, gripping my hand so tight it hurt. But I froze when the first tap came, a soft, rhythmic tapping on the glass. It was its forehead over and over, faster, harder, until the glass shattered. We ran upstairs, locking ourselves in the bathroom. Footsteps echoed on the stairs, deliberate and slow. The crying had changed. It was laughing now. High-pitched, mocking, stopping abruptly before starting again. The voice came next, soft, familiar. "Sweetie, it's okay, open the door." It was Mom, or at least it sounded like her. My hand reached for the bolt, but then Annie's voice joined hers. "Yeah, Emmy, let us in." But Annie never called me Emily. I curled into the bathtub, clutching the knife Annie had given me. The door handle rattled, then fell silent. Moments later, the police arrived. Turns out there was no monster, no demon, just Mum. High out of her mind, mimicking voices, clawing for whatever fix she could find. The real monsters? They don't hide under the bed, they raise you, they love you, and sometimes you have to learn to stop letting them in. My name is Emmy, and this is my story.